Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
Let's just get this started with some nice Jimmy Dore candy. I want to show you something. Now, this is not just to shit on Jimmy Dore, but I want to make a very specific accusation. Okay? I want to make a very specific accusation. Jimmy Dore is a sellout. All right? Now, there is a phenomenon called psychological projection. And I want you to know that Jimmy Dore is an actual sellout. So this is Tucker Carlson. You may know who Tucker Carlson is. He's the highest rated cable news host on Fox News. He is a white supremacist who believes in the great replacement theory, and his head writer for most of his show was an out-and-out racist who had to be fired because they were harassing and stalking a woman online and spouting racial slurs and bigoted comments on a publicly available forum. I mean, the guy is so important, he practically wrote every show, Tucker Carlson's program through the first few years. So this guy is a fucking racist. If you don't think Tucker Carlson's a racist, you're either a racist yourself or you have not been paying attention. You come down to those two camps. The guy is a fucking racist. If there's anybody in this country that you could call racist, it is Tucker Carlson. So Jimmy Dore went on Tucker Carlson's program. Just last week, Tucker Carlson called immigrants coming to this country the great replacement. The same exact stuff that literal Nazis say. That white America is being replaced. Democrats are intentionally replacing the voting bloc of Native Americans. They don't mean indigenous Americans. They mean white people. They're replacing them with an entirely new demographic to vote themselves in power. Now, Jimmy Dore went on that program. Now, if you're going on Tucker Carlson's program and you are not hostile from step one, you are selling out. What is selling out? That is when you stifle your values, you stifle what you believe in order to get money. And being shown on one of the most highest rated television programs in America on cable news and not criticizing the racist ass host is selling out because you want to get more exposure and more money. It shows that your values are exposure and money, not truth. So let's check out Jimmy Dore's appearance on Tucker Carlson. Maulding won't even begin to start it. Let's go.
Is an extremist. We know that because he has disagreed with Ocasio-Cortez, but we're still proud to have him on tonight. Welcome, Jimmy Dore.
And notice how Jimmy Dore starts off. He disagreed with Ocasio-Cortez. And he starts, I mean, just right off the bat, we're 5 seconds in. Actual sellout. He said people coming from the third world coming was the problem. He didn't say the same about Europe because Europeans are considered white. Does that mean Glenn Greenwald is a sellout? I gotta tell you, chat, Glenn Greenwald is a little bit different than Jimmy Dore. I'm gonna make a distinction between Glenn. Glenn has entirely idiotic takes, but Glenn also does real work to somewhat balance it out. So I could be as frustrated and disgusted by Glenn Greenwald, but he occasionally leavens it with good takes and good work. Not just takes on Twitter, but actually like investigative reporting, books, shit like that. Glenn Greenwald is an actual journalist. I disagree with a lot of his dumbass takes. Jimmy is 100% a sellout. Also, I can tell you, I like Glenn a hell of a lot less because he goes on Tucker Carlson. If he didn't go on Tucker Carlson, he would be a hell of a lot more respected by a lot of people. So that's my honest to God answer to that.
You extremist? So what do you make of this? What do you make of this story?
Well, if you give politicians the mildest criticism on Twitter, expect to get the cops knocking on your door, I guess. I mean, is that not intimidating? Is that not chilling for free speech? You know, it wasn't too long ago, Tucker, that I was pushing a thing called Force the Vote, which was trying to get the...
Oh my God. Will you stop? Will you fucking stop, dude? This is cringe, dude. Will you stop? I was trying to push Force the Vote. Dude. So what is the story they're talking about? What is the story they're talking about? Somebody posted a Twitter thread about AOC. Where they were criticizing her because she was talking to somebody who mentioned Israel, and she had a very like two-state solution. I believe the Palestinians are important, like you know, like one of those pretty milk toast takes. And the Twitter thread was like, here she is, she you know, she was cowardly, she didn't speak out strongly enough against Israel. And you know what? Like, I kind of agree with that. We need more politicians on the left that are willing to speak out against Israel. And that was the take. So it was a pretty normal take. For some reason, cops showed up to the door. Let me see if I can grab it. I'll grab it and then we'll talk about this. I assume this is a tweet they were talking about where I lightly criticized AOC for a disappointing answer in response to a question about Palestine/Israel. And this was completely outrageous. I was visited by 2 police at my home over a harmless tweet about AOC. I felt scared, intimidated, and violated. They knew my name and where I live. It was done on behalf of a congresswoman who advocates against police state tactics. I'd really appreciate if AOC could look into this. I'd recognize she probably receives a lot of threats, but I shouldn't be harassed by police for critiquing her politics. I frankly feel very unsafe in my home right now. Now, AOC immediately said, we did not do that. We did not report you to the cops. We have no fucking clue what happened. What the hell? And so Ryan Grimm went in and began investigating. Ryan Grimm started investigating because, quite frankly, if AOC reported someone for doing some light criticism of her, that is a huge problem, and she ought to be chastised harshly for that, because that's disgusting. And so Ryan Grimm actually did the work of calling the Capitol Police, calling AOC, trying to figure out who investigated this guy. Now, the real situation here is this person criticized Israel and was investigated. It's not that they criticized AOC and were investigated. They criticized Israel and were investigated. But notice how these dumb fucks immediately shift the focus right on the AOC. Instead of us all talking about, hey, you criticized the Israeli state and you're immediately investigated. That's pretty fucking weird. But instead, they shifted to AOC because Jimmy Dore is stupid. That police did show up at the person's door over a post about AOC is confirmed. The open question is who sent them and why. If AOC was actually responsible for it and denied it, Capitol Police would eagerly out her, so her denial has serious credibility. The animosity between her and the Capitol Police after January 6th is widely known. Capitol Police confirms it was not AOC. As it pertains to this incident, the Congresswoman did not request that the United States Capitol Police initiate an investigation. United States Capitol Police investigates all the threats that are reported by congressional offices. The department also monitors open and classified sources to identify and investigate threats. This is the standard operating procedure for the department. As it pertains to this incident, the Congresswoman did not request that the United States Capitol Police initiate an investigation. So when Ryan Grimm found this out and said AOC didn't do it, I don't know why Jimmy Dore is attacking AOC. She's not guilty. Do you know what ended up happening? Jimmy Dore started attacking Ryan Grimm as a corporate sellout. I'm not one to trust the police, but if this is indeed true, then I'd like AOC to publicly condemn the draconian security measures that were carried out in her name. Ryan Grimm tweeted that out. Jimmy Dore is a fucking idiot, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. as you can't be surprised. So this is the context. This is the actual context. Oh, here it is. The billionaire funded intercepts Ryan Grimm called AOC's office to clear her name. Jimmy Dore show went to the source and interviewed the actual victim in the story, Ryan Wentz. What I have gathered so far is that AOC did not report this or initiate it. If you have information to the contrary, please don't withhold it from your public. Or does it actually not matter what happened? I also called the Capitol Police and talked to the same guy who was harassed that you did and talked to Twitter. But as he told you, he doesn't know how this came about. So you have to keep digging. Talking to one guy who's already public isn't enough. You know that, right? You leveled a false accusation instead of apologizing, are now distracting your viewers to delay the moment they realize all you do is lie to them. For his folks who still believe he's not lying to you and that the only thing I did is get a comment from her office, here's the statement I got from the Capitol Police. Bear in mind, AOC recently accused them of putting her life on risk on January 6th. They're not her friends. One last point before I go back to muting him because it's becoming a time suck. This is for his followers, not him. What Jimmy does is easy to observe once you recognize it. He says something either false or wildly misleading, sometimes on purpose, sometimes through recklessness/negligence. And then when people say, that's not true, here's why you're off base, he says, see, I told you X person was corrupt, and them disagreeing with me is evidence. His attacks can't withstand scrutiny. That's why he had me on to talk about forced to vote. He never pushed back, agreed with my points, and never uploaded the video. For him, opposing views must be discredited as corrupt, because if his viewers examined his, they'd realize his don't stand up. He's exploiting your legitimate anger, and the thing that would discredit his whole game would be for this Congress to actually pass laws that make people's lives better. So he has to convince you that it's impossible and that anybody who says otherwise is running cover. Anyway, enjoy the show, and don't say I didn't warn you. Last piece of advice, here is a good book. Read this and then decide if you're being lied to. Really good book, by the way. I love this book. People have been asking me about books. We've got People by Ryan Grimm. Really, 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 really good book. It's about the rise of the left, the new rise of the left from Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign all the way to AOC. And obviously it includes, all the other progressive candidates through the years and how the left has grown and all the successes and all the failures so we can learn from recent electoral history and then not just like jump into politics one year and think that you're the fucking genius and make all the same mistakes that people made 10 years ago. Maybe read a book and then you'll understand, oh, people already tried this dumbass strategy I'm trying and it failed utterly. And here's why it failed. And if I want to do a similar strategy, I need to modify it. Read We've Got People. Really good book. All right, now now you know the full context of the AOC cops sent after some tweeter guy. Let's see how Jimmy Dore characterizes it. Police visit home of activists who criticized AOC.
Long ago, Tucker, that I was pushing a thing called Force the Vote, which was trying to get the progressives in Congress to withhold their vote from Nancy Pelosi to force her to bring Medicare for All up for a vote on the floor. And I was criticizing them because they ran on doing such a thing. They ran on confronting the establishment power in Nancy Pelosi, and they wouldn't do it. So I was telling people to stop protecting her. And she said, that's not tone, that's violence. And so when someone as powerful as AOC says that, that's chilling because, independent media is under assault right now. And YouTube is using algorithms to throttle us and stifle us. And they're taking people's videos down while mainstream news is allowed to show those same videos. And we're not allowed to talk about certain topics. So when she did that, it sent a chilling effect. She's telling everybody, including Jack at Twitter, that Jimmy Dore is somehow committing violence against her. And she's somehow a victim. She won't mobilize. She has over 11 million Twitter followers, and she won't mobilize her followers to get health care or get a $15 minimum wage or get student debt relief, but she will mobilize her followers, her 11 million followers, which is a lot of people, to be snitches, to go and be a snitch on social media. That's her big activism campaign. We're entering a very dangerous era of censorship, Tucker.
So this is the stupidity here. First of all, is he the biggest egomaniac, self-centered dipshit you've ever fucking seen, or am I losing my mind? The real problem is that YouTube is promoting, through their algorithm, dumb fucking frauds. And Jimmy Dore is one of them. And YouTube's algorithm is designed to get clicks. So whatever keeps you engaged is what gets boosted. Not worthwhile journalism, not intelligent commentary, the stuff that gets you fucking emotionally agitated and engaged. That's the stuff that will get boosted. And one of the things that's really gross about this whole situation is they have absolutely no idea who reported this to the who got the cops to investigate it. The cops implied they did it on their own initiative. And Jimmy Dore called all of AOC's supporters snitches with absolutely no evidence whatsoever on Fox News. This is by the way, the purpose of this, in case you're wondering, is to attack AOC's credibility and create the impression that she wants people who criticize her to be put in prison or watched by the cops. Now, let me just say this. This is trying to assist with the right-wing narrative that the left is authoritarian and wants to force you to do things. That's what this purpose of this whole video. So Jimmy Dore is going on to help a fascist promote the idea that one of the most left-leaning politicians we have is some sort of authoritarian trying to get the right.
Here's some wise words from DMX.
This is moving people right, exactly. And not only that, it actually creates a climate where people feel that preemptive violence against someone like AOC is justifiable because they believe she's coming to get them. This actually gets people killed. This actually gets people killed.
Where the interests of Silicon Valley and the Democratic Party have merged with the Biden-Harris administration, and the establishment wants to stifle discontent by stifling speech. Right now, YouTube, which is Silicon Valley, which is in bed with the Biden administration, wants to get rid of dislikes. Why? They want to get rid of dislikes.
There's no dislikes in Facebook. Who cares? Honestly, I don't give a shit. Dislikes don't do anything, Jimmy, you stupid fuck. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything. But Mike, if she's not an authoritarian, why won't she go on Jimmy's show?
I mean, it does seem almost unbelievable that someone who runs against the establishment, as she did, when she beat a longtime machine Democrat. Speaking for myself, I'll be honest, I love seeing it. I like it when young people come up and seem to believe in something and win. I mean, I don't agree with her, but I like that.
Yeah, because she's awesome. Even fucking see, here's the thing that's amazing. Tucker Carlson is actually tipping his hand right here. Tucker Carlson is saying AOC is one of the biggest threats to the right wing in America right now. He's tipping his hand. He's saying she got up here with grassroots energy. She defeated the disgusting Democratic machine. She's got energy. She's got conviction. She's got strong beliefs. She's a threat. Even I have to admit she's dynamic. That's what he's telling you. That's why he's wasting his time talking about her. You know the joke about farming thumbnails? You know the joke about, people are like, oh, Mike, you're farming thumbnails, right? All right, where the fuck is it? Fuck. I lost my place now.
And, so for her to say that I was committing violence by using or something, but, I don't know if I
myself, I'll be honest, I love seeing it.
That was the last video, so it's not any AOC
come
shit.
Up and seem to believe in something and win. I mean, I don't agree with her, but I like that. And then she immediately winds up on the side of the biggest and most
they came for my
dislikes in the world. Like, this is like the
Thank
end
you,
of
Wolfie
Animal Farm.
Tyler.
It just didn't take long for her to switch sides, did it?
It's happening right
in
front
sides?
of our faces, and there's people who don't want to see what's happening. And I've been the one out in front on the left telling people what's happening, that you don't change the Democratic Party, Tucker, the Democratic Party changes you. And so that's what we're witnessing. So for her to say that I was committing violence by using words to criticize her, I don't know if you've ever been hit with an adjective but I'll take that over a bat or something. But, you know, I don't know if I got hit in the head with a noun the other day. I had to go through the concussion protocol. I'd rather be hit with words than actual violence. Okay, because you know what's going on is that the working people in this country are on a ledge right now, and the establishment doesn't care if they fall over. And so they're using crude forms of censorship. We've seen it. We see what they wouldn't allow the Hunter Biden story to get out. And so there's way worse things are happening. So this is a chilling time right now for people like me. It's chilling when the powerful want to insulate themselves from criticism. AOC said that if you criticize Joe Biden and his administration, what message does that send to black and brown people? Well, the message I think that sends...
That's not what she said, you fucking lying idiot. What she said was, if you say there is no difference between some of the policies on immigration of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, that you are erasing literally millions of people who have been helped. For example, dreamers. Donald Trump was trying to deport dreamers. Who are dreamers? Dreamers are people who were brought to this country as children. So like, you know, and they don't know any other country but America, but they lack legal status. So Donald Trump was trying to deport people to countries they haven't been to since they were 2. And Joe Biden stopped that. And she said, you shouldn't say that it doesn't matter at all. We should look at our wins, but also critique Joe Biden. For example, the border camps are unacceptable no matter who does it, Democrat or Republican. But she said, you can't just pretend that nothing has changed. We have actually changed things. It's called looking to your wins. And he lies and says, she says you can't criticize Joe Biden. That's not what she said at all. Because what she said actually makes sense. And Jimmy can't debate what people actually say. He has to create a ridiculous caricature.
Is that we're willing to
Social
stand up for
thank you for the tier 3. I appreciate
even during
that.
the Democratic administration that is letting them down, gaslighting them, and not giving them COVID relief. That's what that means. She thinks what she's doing is using identity politics to shield them from real criticism.
That's exactly right. And I should point out to our viewers who may not understand this, that you make your living on these big platforms, on YouTube, for example. And for you to come out and say what you've said about them takes a lot of courage, I think. And I'm impressed that you're willing to do that. Too few are. Jimmy Dore, thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Imagine going on Tucker Carlson's show and your entire purpose there is to just sling shit that's all factually wrong about AOC. And then be like, thanks, Tucker. Suki's mom had an actually pretty good thread on this that I retweeted. It's just very sad to me that Knight and Dore and others like them have taken advantage of people's very valid concerns and anger and turned them into a directionless mass of unorganized people eternally outrage posting without any idea how to actually mobilize for the better. The anger at the Democrats and at capitalism is all warranted, but that anger is meaningless without power behind it. Tweeting at AOC or tweeting out hashtag general strike will not improve our material conditions. Their goal is not to help you. It is to keep you perpetually angry. And that is the absolute, complete, and utter truth. Jimmy Dore is just mad because Bernie and AOC would not come on his shitty show. That's exactly what it is. Jimmy Dore didn't even have one video on the Amazon Union. This is all culture war bullshit. What a pathetic fucking loser, man. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy. The morning politics guy. Politics Frogs in every single day. Same time, 10 a.m. Day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about Suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You got to follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers. We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid, and you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.